want to talk? So let's talk. Here. Talk. You want to talk? You gotta talk, you need to talk. News talk.
I talk, you talk to Solomon. I talk, you talk to Solomon. Yeah, let's talk to Solomon. Talk to Solomon.
You gotta talk, you want to.
Welcome back. It's Talk to Solomon time. That's me, Stan Solomon, my co-host.
Chief Steve.
Former Police Chief Steve Davis, and our guest of honor, Major General Jerry Curry, retired from the United States Army. General.
Yes.
I remember growing up, of course the Civil War was still raging, that there was something called Radio America. In fact, right in Cincinnati, Ohio, they had these 500,000 watt generators, transmitters, and they transmitted the sound of democracy, if you will, the truth about democracy all over the world. We are now agreeing, surrendering, capitulating, or being flexible. I'm not sure what is the appropriate word, but we're no longer going to have the pro-democracy broadcast being broadcast into the country of Russia. Your thoughts?
This is a part of President Obama's flexibility that he has promised to Medvedev. And I think that that's all this is that they have agreed that the United States is going to pull out of that part of the world, out of the Russian area there in Eastern Europe, and is going to turn over the sphere of influence to the Russians, and that the Russians are going to have free reign in those countries over there and do whatever. This is me speaking now. I can't prove any of this to be true, but that's the way I see this thing. I think that there is some deal that our president has cut with the Russians, and it's sort of like what they did earlier, where they were taking the air defense systems out of Poland, for example, out of the Ukraine. And so I think that's what we're doing. We're coming to some flexibility arrangement with the Russians, and that part of that is let's not broadcast any more broadcasts about freedom, democracy, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. All that crazy stuff that Americans believe.
In 1956, correct me if I have the wrong year, Russian tanks rolled into Hungary. It was the beginning of the quote-unquote Iron Curtain as they moved throughout the Eastern European countries, taking them over, enslaving their people, stealing their resources, and making them puppets. Are we going to see that again, in your opinion, General?
I doubt that we'll see it physically manifested that way. It may become a sort of a gentleman's agreement, and that is the way it actually operates. I would doubt very much if we'd go back to building walls, however. But I suggest something to you about that wall. It's a very interesting thought, and that is we're talking about walls on our southern border, for example, and how that works out. People probably don't remember this, but in 1961, one morning, that is when the people went to bed at night, everything was normal. And when they woke up the next morning, there was a concertina barbed wire fence that had been erected between East and West Berlin. And that fence was 96 miles long, and they did it overnight. And that was the beginning of the Berlin Wall. So when you turn to somebody and you turn to me and say, General, can we build a fence across our southern border? And the answer is, you bet we can. And if so, we will beat what the Russians did overnight.
96 miles in 12 hours.
Yes.
Obviously, they didn't have then the technology we have now. Chief?
Well, this is no surprise to me. You know, Barack Obama was brought up, tutored. He lived his whole life, went to school looking only for instructors that were teaching the Marxist, socialist, communist regime and ideology. And so this is what he wants. He sides with the Soviet Communist Party in this arena. And for him to give up this ability for Americans to transmit the voice of freedom to people that are oppressed in a communist country, he's all for that. This is what Barack Obama's for. As a matter of fact, his current slogan on his sign says "Forward," That word is taken from every communist manifesto book that was ever printed. And it doesn't mean forward to freedom, it means forward towards communism.
Well, it's forward for the good of the country, not the good of the individual. It's literally a concept that says your personal freedoms are subordinated to what the country needs. And that's exactly what Marxism is all about. To make Russia more glorious, if it had to move people, kill people, experiment on people, they should have been happy to do so. And that was the same thought that the socialism in Germany under Hitler. Most people want to ignore the fact that the Nazis were socialists, just like the communists are socialists, just like the Obamas are socialists, just like the Democrat Party is a socialist party. Would you agree, General?
I'd agree with that. Yeah.
See, and it also means forward to the elimination of the middle class, because there is no middle class allowed in a Marxist, socialist, communist regime. It's the...
I agree with you, Chief. I'm sorry. Go ahead, interrupt.
No,
Go ahead.
I'm just going to finish that with, there's the elite that's in control and controls the power and the money, and there's the rest of us who get the scraps.
Well, right. There are those who are the controllers, and the rest of us are the controllees. General?
It's exactly, I think, what's going on. I think that that's the idea of the whole exercise is that all authority, all power, and I'm talking about physical power, political power, military power, it all goes to the government. And all of the people have to look to the government for everything. If there's whether you're talking Obamacare, whether you're talking about the Volts car, electric car, for example, you look to the government. The government will give you General Motors cars. The government will give you whatever it may be that you think you need, including your medical care, of course. That's where I think that this administration is going. I think if you could ask them and get an honest answer and say, what are your goals for the next 4 years for the United States of America? I think we would be absolutely shocked if they honestly told us what those goals were.
Well, they certainly won't tell us, but they do show us. All you have to do is open your eyes. There was an amazing thing that happened since the last debate, which was what, a week and a half ago or thereabouts?
Yeah.
Allegedly, Barack Obama, who had exposed the Republicans' war on women, was ahead among women by 18 points. And now, all of a sudden, according to the new polls that have just come out in the last few days, one from USA Today, Gallup, Romney's ahead by 2 or 3 points.
Yeah.
That would be the most historic swing, since Southern Democrats hung blacks.
Yeah.
The fact is that we were told that women, now, not my wife, not my daughter, not my sister, not my neighbors, not any women I knew. I take it back. I knew one lady. Now, she had a drinking problem, a promiscuity problem, and an intelligence problem, and she had an Obama sticker on her forehead. But outside of that one lunatic, I didn't know any women that didn't look at Obama for what he is, a reformed, maybe, homosexual who married an ugly woman and is trying to somehow tell us that men acting like men are bad and that women who are not promiscuous and killing their kids are unsophisticated. Am I close?
You couldn't get me to touch that one. But I will say to you, my friend, is I am persuaded that what you're talking about is part of why I feel so good about the election coming up. And that is, I think the American women are many things, but they are not stupid. And I think they did some very stupid and dumb things the last time around in the election. And I have a feeling that as we get closer and closer, and we're within weeks of this coming about, that the American women are going to prove that they have more brains than Mr. Obama and all of his minions think they do.
I think hope is another word. And of course, there's no accounting for the women for whom the vote is taken, the elderly, the mentally incapacitated, the dead, those who don't vote, that someone votes in their place, that type of thing. We talked about that earlier, Chief.
Well, I think that Obama really did have a great strategy in the last campaign where he had his, he didn't give anything definite. So it was always the hope and fill in the blank campaign, which people filled in the blank with what they thought was going to happen. But women are protectors of their families. They're going to do what it takes to protect and support their families. And now they found out that Mitt Romney is not the evil person that Barack Obama has made him out to be. And also they know that Barack Obama is going to damage their families, and they're going to swing for Mitt Romney, no problem.
Well, let's talk about that. General, you're a military person, but you're a numbers person. We have fewer people working now than were working when Barack Obama assumed the presidency, in actual numbers. Our population has grown, but the number of people with jobs has gone down. We have a 50% increase in the number of people on food stamps. My guess is those are almost all families where there's a woman involved. The real unemployment rate is around 14% to 15%, but among minorities, it's 20-25%. Now, these women who are trying to live their lives and have a life for their kids and for their family, I know my wife's family, they live in Georgia. They are yellow dog Democrats. They've always been Democrats. They've never voted for anyone but Democrats. They are starving to death. They are starving to death. Everyone they know is starving to death. And some of them are still saying, but Barack Obama, and I say, Barack Obama, what? Do you have to be dead before the message gets through? How many of your friends are working? None. How many of your friends who own businesses are still in business? None. How well is your community doing? Terribly. What exactly do you want more of? Now, they can't argue. Some of them will still vote for Barack Obama because they're black. But the fact is, women have to figure out 3 times a day how to put food on the table. I don't think that's been an easy job the last couple, 3 years. And I don't think they're looking forward to another 3, 4 years of that. Am I being unrealistic here, General?
No. They need to be told very, very clearly. If they, in fact, re-elect Obama, that is what they have to look forward to for the next 4 years. And perhaps he will start a trend where we will have Democrats running the government for many, many years beyond that 4 years. The ladies are right. And there's another part of this thing, too. You know, the ladies, first of all, want food on the table for the children. But at some point in time, if you get enough food on the table, then the next thing they want to know is there enough money for a new dress? And that's the sort of thing that I think is going to cause them to think through this business about who should I be electing as president of the United States, and is the man we currently have, is he good enough to do the kind of job that we want done, or do we need to bite our tongue and back up to the polling booth and vote Republican whether we like it or not?
Well, I think that Romney's position, which he did a good job of in the last debate, we'll see how he does tonight, is to say, look, I'm going to create 12 million jobs, and here's how. Boom, 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 boom. Your turn, Barack. While Republicans want to give tax breaks to the rich. How many jobs are you going to create? You haven't created, I created 5 million jobs, I see. For every person you put that got a job, 10 people lost jobs and have dropped out of the workforce. That's a great record. At that rate, in another 10 years, nobody will be working.
That's right. And that's exactly where he's going. And, Chief, I think you probably see that directly, even better than I do.
Well, I also know that mothers, in addition to what you've said, which you're right on target, General, mothers also want their children to be better off than they are. So you can't keep accepting crumbs from the government or from Obama and your kids get better off. You need some type of system that Mitt Romney's offering for promotion, success, for a better way of life that mothers want for their kids.
Well, and the fact is, he's saying the answer is not for the government to hire more workers. I saw an article that says right now public employees, their pensions are underfunded by $1.2 trillion. Who's going to pay the $1.2 trillion? And by the way, every year there's another 100, 200, 300 billion dollars added. Now,
Yep.
how in the hell can we hire more public people when we can't pay for the ones we already have?
Well, I am persuaded. I'm sorry, Chief. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say the numbers come out to you have to have 5 current employees to pay the pension for 1 retired person. You can never ever catch up with the system that we have now. What we're talking about is our children and grandchildren are going to have to pay this debt off, along with the other debts we got going along. So Barack Obama's policy of wanting to hire more government employees is really a mess, a bigger mess waiting for our children to inherit.
Go ahead, General.
I tell you, folks, I see this thing maybe slightly a little bit differently. I don't think that President Obama has any intention of paying off our debt, of balancing our budget, of living with the government, living within its means, of keeping the numbers of government workers down. I don't think he has any intention of doing that. I think he has just the opposite. I think he is deliberately out there attempting to bankrupt this country, to put debt on our shoulders that we cannot bear and cannot carry. And I think that that's his purpose in life. And when it's over, he intends to wreck the economy of this nation.
And give us over to a world body, which of course he will be the leader of. That I don't argue with that for 1 minute, General.
And thanks for saying that, General, because we need to be reminded of that from time to time, because people like us, it's hard for us to really fathom there's someone like that, and let alone that he's in the White House. So thank you for reminding us of that.
It has come out that of the money earned by Mitt Romney last year, between taxes and charity, it took 58% of his gross revenue. Now, he paid a lot of taxes at 14% federally, and you hear all the hacks in the media, in commercials now, which is against the rules, but they don't care, for the Obama administration. But here's the reality. Liberals, Barack Obama, Joe Biden, Al Gore, Bill Clinton, they don't give crap to anyone. Oh, they do give crap, but they don't give money to anyone. They give your money. Guys like Romney and Bush, 1 and 2, gave because conservatives give twice to 3 times as much as do liberals. And that is a percentage of their money. This guy made a lot of money. He gave away a ton of money. Millions he gave. I'd love to see how much Barack Obama gave before his taxes became public. I guarantee you, he took that made-up job for his wife cheats. No question. They were takers, they are takers, and they think they have every right to live large. It's been estimated we have spent over $1 billion on vacations for the Obamas just in the last year and a half. $1 billion. Is that in your vacation budget, General?
I wish it was. I wish it was. They have found out how to use the instruments of the White House to give them pleasure. And they take every opportunity to take advantage of it and to spend my money and your money and the taxpayers' money across the United States. And they are very liberal with the spending of our money. They aren't doing anything for us, but they are doing a lot for themselves. And they're having a lot of friends that they take on these soirees where he and she go out and just live it up.
Yes, they have the biggest names, the most expensive, whatever. The food, there's no budget on their food, and I guarantee they're not eating tofu and asparagus. In fact, that's why I lovingly call his wife Cheeks, because this lady is very cheeky in every way you can use that word. Romney raised $170 million last month. Allegedly, Obama raised 180. The difference is Romney raised it in America, where a lot of the money Obama raised, they don't know exactly where it came from, and they won't say. Your thoughts?
and they won't ever know where it came from. The rules don't apply to this man. This man is above the rules. He does anything he wants to. If he doesn't like the Constitution, he just changes it. If he doesn't like a law that the United States Congress has passed, he just overrules it. If he doesn't like what happens with the Supreme Court, his Justice Department just simply ignores it. This man's above all of that sort of thing. And we need to understand how important he is to our lives, and that without him, we can never really amount to anything in this great country of ours.
Well, I can't wait to see him leave the White House. Barack Obama is not qualified to do anything. He's going to have a hard time getting a real job of any kind when he leaves, but I can't wait to see him go.
Well, he won't need to get a job. The liberals will pay him $1 million to harumph through a speech, because without a teleprompter, I'm not sure he can recite the alphabet. Electric car battery maker, A123 Systems, $249.1 million gift, not a loan, a gift, a grant. They just filed bankruptcy because they spent the $249 million, I'm sure, living large. Your thoughts, General?
I think they probably did spend it living large. Listen, one of the joys of supporting a man like Obama is you get the gravy, you get the goodies, all these things that he has. He distributes them to you, and that keeps you in line, because if you get out of line, you no longer get them distributed to you. So this is a normal part for a guy like him. It's the way he lives his life, and his friends live high on the hog, because that's a bribe. He is bribing them to live high on the hog, to be happy, not to worry, to constantly take care of him and his needs and his family's needs. And that's the sort of thing that's happening with him.
I just have two questions. First of all, how much do these batteries cost? Do you have any idea?
Yes, I actually know a typical battery retails for between $7,500 and $10,000.
So when your Volt needs a battery, there you go. Second question is, how many did this company create before they went out of business?
I don't know. Let me see. None.
None.
Yeah, but they did set up some very nice lines, and they did, pay lots of benefits, and they paid large salaries and bonuses. And
with whose money?
Ours.
Oh, okay.
Yours, Chief.
I feel the pain.
The reality is, the game plan on the left was to eliminate fossil fuels, make them so expensive that you will be forced into electric cars because it'll cost you $200 to fill up your gas tank. And what they didn't say is, because of the war on coal, it's now going to cost you $200 to charge up your batteries. So you're going to spend the same amount of money, but they will have accomplished their objective of cutting America off at the knees, where we can't move forward because we don't have the energy to do so. General?
Yeah, you're right on target. That's exactly so. Anything this administration does is going to end up as a net loss for America. Our nation is going to suffer on everything that these people have their hands involved in. Their intention is to make us suffer. Prosperous. They don't want us to lead the world. They don't want us to be an exceptional nation. They want us to be somewhere around 123rd out of 240 nations, or whatever it happens to be. That's what their intention is. The good news is, I've got a surprise for them. One of these days, we are going to have somebody sitting at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue who is not overly impressed with any of this stuff, and who just brushes it all aside and says, yeah, forget about it. Here is what you are going to do starting right now.
And that's what Romney, by the way, has said. And I think we're going to see some liberal judges try and stop it. But, by the way, a report came out of England that says global warming stopped 16 years ago, reveals Met Office report quietly released. Quietly, 16 years ago. Let's see, 16 years ago. Why, that was in Barack Obama. Well, we don't know, because we don't know when he was born, where he was born. But here's the reality. It's all a lie. Environmentalism is a watermelon. It's green on the outside and red as hell on the inside. Chief?
Al Gore got rich on this. He scammed us all with this, and he's very wealthy now. What, with $200 million? I don't know what he made on this whole thing, but it's a big scam. But people like him, which are on the left, have taken advantage of this, and all they want to do is use this global warming lie to take money out of our pockets and take our country down the tubes. It's 16 years ago is a long time.
General, a closing thought to America on this 3 weeks before the election. By the way, Democrats, you're to vote on November 7th. Republicans, you're to vote on November 6th. Go ahead, General.
All I can say to America is there are better days in our future. We made a mistake when we elected this man. We should not, will not, and cannot make the same mistake a second time around. It is time now to vote him out of office and to get somebody in office who cares about our country, who cares about us. And no, my friend here is sitting saying I should plug my new book that just came out.
What is
the answer is no. We'll do that down the road somewhere.
No, do it right now. What is the name of your new book?
Lord, help me with The American Dream.
The American Dream. All right, well, General, send me a copy so that I have a chance to read it. Then we'll do a show devoted to that book.
Well, unfortunately, it's an e-book. So you'll have to go to Amazon.com, type in my name under books, and it'll pop up.
Do we put in Jerry Curry or Major General Jerry Curry?
Just Jerry Curry.
All right, folks, everyone do that. I will do that. And thank you, General. We bid you good night, and we'll look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks.
Good night.
Keep up the fight, General.
Good night, Chief.
We'll be back with Dr. Alan Keyes shortly. This is Talk to Solomon. Do you like being healthy? I do. In fact, this product, which I've been taking for years now, is absolutely the answer. Now, you may not believe it, but I'm actually 21, plus tax, of course. This product has 146 different healthful nutrients in it, and it's liquid, so it's bioavailable. It tastes great, and it's sugar-free. 1 ounce of Sonic Life each day will help you to maintain and enhance your health. It's a kind of a gift, well, that you'll thank your mom for, your husband for, your wife for, your kids for. Whoever you give it to, they're going to say thank you. And you are going to enjoy the benefits of having all the vitamins, all the minerals, all the nutrients your body needs in one very reasonably priced product. Just go to cpnlive.com and everything's right there. You'll be able to read all the ingredients. The price is right there, a flat price delivered to your door anywhere in the United States of America. Sonic Life is a gift, a great gift. Give it to yourself. I do. Hey, my name is Stan Solomon, and you know if I have something to say, I'll say it. And I'll only tell you the truth because I'm a Republican, not a Democrat. Democrats always lie. Republicans only lie half the time. I don't lie at all. This is the Fuel Mule. It's an extraordinary product that was developed by a friend of mine, an engineer, and it increases the fuel mileage on your vehicle. If you have a combustion engine, this will increase your mileage by 10 to 20%. It bolts around your fuel line. You can install it yourself or have your mechanic do it. It is an extraordinary item, and it flat works. I've been using it for more than 10 years. It's increased my mileage on every vehicle I put it on, and by the way, it will last forever. You can get rid of your vehicle, just take it off and put on the next one. Go to cpnlive.com. You'll have more information there. You can order it right there. We absolutely guarantee you'll be satisfied. The Fuel Mule. It's a way to kick down your cost of fuel and kick up your mileage. Don't you love the name? I thought of it. The Fuel Mule. You have a computer, if you're alive today, which means you have a hard drive, which means it's going to break down. Mosey, the backup people, for thousands, for Stan, for thousands of people, for tens of thousands of people, is simply common sense. You go to cpnlive.com, click on the icon for Mosey, the backup people, and sign up. It's just a few dollars a month. Let me tell you something. We had a break-in. They stole our whole computer. You know what? When they take the computer, you can't recover anything, but we had Mosey. We had the backup. We were able to restore everything simply by buying another computer. CPNLive.com, click on the icon for Mosey, the backup people, and give yourself common sense, peace of mind, great value, the best thing you've ever done. Sooner or later, it's going to be Mosey, the backup people. I like to eat. Do you like to eat? We all do. And usually we run to the grocery store, we run to the convenience store, or we have something in the fridge. But power's been out in parts of this country in the last few weeks. We don't know what's going to come down the pike economically. Smart people are putting in food. Alpine Air Gourmet Reserves is a line of foods that you can put away that will last for a very long time. You know, they say eat what you store and store what you eat. This is great tasting stuff, healthy for you, a full line. You go to our website, cpnlive.com, and click on the button for Alpine Air Gourmet Reserves and see all the different things we have. This is good tasting food. It's reasonably priced. It will last. And it's worth its weight in gold if a problem arises. I know you don't think there's going to be anything that goes wrong. Actually, you do. This is smart. This is smart insurance. This is smart preparation. This is smart thinking. You have kids, you have a spouse, you have parents, you have dependents, you have an appetite. All those things can be addressed by a frugal but smart investment in Alpine Air Gourmet Reserves. Try them out. You will be tickled to death with the taste of them. You know what? In many cases, people start to eat this and they think, heck, this tastes better and costs less than what you're going to the grocery store to buy. CPNLive.com, check it out. Let me ask you a question. Do you like being sick? I have in my hand an incredible product. It's called TR10 Supercolloidal Silver. TR10 stands for a trace to the negative 10th power. The particles in this silver product are 6 to 8 angstroms, 6 to 8 10 billionths of a meter. Now listen to me. Silver has been the magic bullet for all of human existence. The Egyptians used silver instruments. We use silverware. They put silver in your teeth because nothing can grow on silver. Silver will kill anything but liberalism. I'm working on that. This product, you go to cpnlive.com, buy 1 quart of this product. It will last you for a very long time. Anytime you feel like you've been exposed to something bad, take some of this product, spray it in your mouth, or take a little bit and gargle it, swallow it. It will kill any pathogen. The average antibiotic kills 10 to 20 different pathogens. This product will kill 700 plus. Do yourself a favor, do your family a favor, do your doctor a favor. He's tired of seeing you. Get Supercolloidal Silver. Go to cpnlive.com, order the product. It's $29.95 plus shipping. I think it's $39.95 delivered any place in America right to your door. It's worth 10 times that. Check it out. If you're not 100% happy, just return it and we'll give you your money back.